Good evening. Namaste. This is Dr. Aparna. I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist. I act as a catalyst and support your emotional healing journey. So, I am an emotional healing synergist. I am a medical writer as well as an infopreneur. In my pursuit to address, promote, and propagate Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally, I come up with discussions, talk throughs, or speak on different topics of Ayurveda, mental health, psychology, psychotherapy, and neuroscience. I even do book reviews on these topics. For those who all following me, we have started session on Ayurveda and the Mind series. So we have successfully completed two sessions on it, Ayurveda and the Mind, and the last session was on interdependence of body and mind. So we talked on psychosomatic interdependence. Today's topic of discussion is the continuation of it. In the last session, if you remember, we were discussing on functions of the mind, manas, the definition and the functions of manas. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss functions of mind, that is manas, as per Ayurveda, and its correlation to modern psychology. How can it be correlated to the modern psychology? So, first function which we discussed was Indriya Bigraha. So, mind is responsible for perception and sensory control. So, as per Ayurveda and as per Acharya Charaka, he says that Manas directs the senses towards their respective objects. That means Manas acts as the conductor, coordinating sensory inputs from our sense organs, from eyes, from ears, from nose, from tongue, and from skin, and presenting them to our consciousness. So, Manas acts as a conductor and it coordinates the sensory inputs. So, how can it be related to modern psychology? So, modern psychology says that the thalamus here acts as a relay station for sensory information, directing it to different cortical areas for processing. So, here Manas, that means mind's role, resonates with the integration of sensory data across various brain regions or various regions of the brain. So, the second function of the mind is swanigraha, that means self control and regulation. So, according to Acharya Shushruta, he says that Manas is the leader of all the senses, and uh, Chitta here is also a synonym of mind. So, mind governs the self discipline and the ability to control impulses and desires. If we are able to control, and if we are able to self discipline our impulses and desires, it is because of mind. And if we are unable to do it, it is also because of mind, because of the improper functioning. So this goes the proper and improper functioning of mind. So what does the modern psychology has to say about it? So this what I'm correlating might not be very exact, but this is as per my research and what I could collect and the information I could gather. So, the prefrontal cortex, there is a region called prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for executive functions in the brain like decision making, impulse control, and emotional regulation. So this can be correlated to Swanigraha of Ayurveda. So here minds, that means manas's role aligns with the prefrontal cortex ability to exert control over lower brain regions. So this is the modern correlation. And the third function of the mind is uha, that is intuition and guesswork. So according to Ayurveda, Vagbhatacharya in Ashtanga Hridaya mentions manas based on experience and past impressions can form judgments and intuitive understanding. So mind allows us to make quick assessments and predictions based on past experiences and subconscious cues. So this is intuition and guesswork. Whatever the intuition part and whatever the guesswork we do from, the past judgments and our experiences, so that is because of the mind. So here modern psychology also says the amygdala and the hippocampus, there are, the amygdala and the hippocampus of the brain play a role in processing emotions and forming memories. So they do it respectively. Once the emotions and experiences are processed, they form memories. So these regions contribute to intuitive judgments and unconscious biases. So these are, similar to manas's function as per Ayurveda. So the fourth function of mind is vichara, that means discrimination and analysis. So, in Ayurveda, in Bhaishajya Ratnavali, Manas analyzes the information received from senses, from the sensory organs, and performs reasoning and discrimination. So, mind enables us to critically evaluate perceptions, make judgments, and draw conclusions. Whatever we can, the power to evaluate and to perceive, to make judgments, to discriminate, to analyze, to draw conclusion. These are all the functions of manas, that is called vichara. So, modern psychology says the frontal lobe, particularly the premotor cortex, is crucial for analysis and reasoning and decision making. So, Manas's discrimination and analysis function shares parallel with the frontal lobe's analytical processes. So, the next function of Manas is Chitta Grahana, that means memory and retention. So, in Ayurveda, again in Charaka Samhita, Acharya Charaka says that Manas holds impressions and experiences in the Chitta, that is conscious mind. So it acts as a bridge between sensory experiences and long term memory storage. So, Manas acts as a bridge between the sensory experiences and the long term memory storage. So, here what the modern psychology has to say about it. So the hippocampus is the primary center for memory consolidation and long term storage. So manas's memory function resonates with the hippocampus's role in encoding and retrieving information. So here the mind's memory function resonates with the hippocampal role in encoding and retrieving information. So the next function of manas is sankalpa, that is willpower and intention. So, as per Ayurveda, according to Sushruta Samhita, Acharya Sushruta states that Manas, through its resolve and intention, directs the body and the mind. So, Manas forms the basis of our desires, motivations, and the drive to act. Whatever our desires are, whatever our motivations are and the drive to act is because of manas. The intention and the willpower, the sankalpa, the determination is because of the manas. And the modern psychology, we can correlate here to the limbic system. That means including the amygdala and cingulate cortex, which is present in the brain, play a role in motivation, reward processing, and goal directed behavior. So here the amygdala and the cingulate cortex acts the same as the sankalpa, the the processing, the reward processing, the goal directed behavior. So manas's mind's role in generating intention corresponds to the limbic system's motivational functions. So it is important that for all of us, to remember that Ayurveda and modern psychology is not an exact mapping. We can't exactly map and correlate things, but certainly they share conceptual overlaps, and approaches are shared and similar most of the times. So, what Ayurveda does is, as I already have mentioned, Ayurveda offers a holistic perspective. That means emphasizing the body mind connection and the influence of doshas on the mental processes. But in turn, modern psychology, with its emphasis on brain regions and neural pathways, modern psychology's emphasis is mainly on the brain regions and the neural pathways. So, this modern psychology delves deeper into the physiological mechanisms. So both the approaches contribute to a comprehensive understanding and the complex work that the mind does. So after we finish the functions of manas, that is mind, next important aspect is qualities of manas. That means there are three qualities of manas. I have already discussed this early in my earlier sessions, but let me repeat it. They are sattva, rajas, and tamas. So, sattva guna is, can be said, pure. Sattva is pure, which is purity of, is the only quality of mana. So the other two gunas are rajas and tamas. Rajas is something which initiates. It is an initiator, or it is initiating an activity. So, and the tamas in turn is opposite. It regulates, or it inhibits. It is the inhibitor. Rajas is the initiator, tamas is the inhibitor. Effect of the mind. So when we talk of sattva, what is sattva? Sattva is which enlightens the mind with true knowledge, and rajas is in turn the initiator of all activities, and tamas is the regulator or inhibitor of all the mental activities. So these are three are the fundamental factors which are responsible for normal or abnormal states of mind. If a person is considered normal or abnormal, all the three, sattva, rajas, and tamas, are responsible for it. If the three are in balance and they are functioning properly, the person is normal. If the tamas and the rajas dominates, then the mental activity can be abnormal. So in a normal state, usually sattva is dominant, but the other two are recessive. The hyperactivity, if a person is hyperactive or the mind is hyperactive, it is due to rajas dominance. And if the mind is hypoactive, it is due to the dominance of tamas. As I said, tamas is the inhibitor and rajas is the initiator. So Therefore, the balanced state of all three components is important, for normal functions of the mind. So, if in Ayurveda, the concept of Trigunas plays a pivotal role, that means important role in understanding how the mind works. So, the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, weave an intricate, bond of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So, um, we will also study, we will also discuss about what are the qualities of sattva and sattva dominant person, what are the qualities of rajo dominant person, and what are the functions of rajas, and what are the functions of tamas, and what are the qualities of person having tamas dominance. uh, I will speak on all of this in the next session, in the coming session. So, thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. And that's it for today. Namaste.